live. We're ready to rock and roll. We're going to be talking about chat today. Chat of all things. I mean, there's things that I like and there's things that I don't like. And chat falls right in the middle of those. So it's going to be an interesting conversation how you can actually use chat to do something worthwhile. To do that, we brought in Michael. He's a good friend of mine. I'm excited to have you on, Michael. He's an expert in all things chat. That's why he's here today. Before we jump in, Michael, maybe just a little bit about yourself, man. What have you been up to?
Yeah, thanks, Gabe. So I'm in charge of our customers here at Signals. So implementation, success, consulting, making sure that people are able to start using our product and use it well. And part of that is chat. So I spend a lot of time looking at how we can build chats effectively, how we can make sure that teams utilize them and get the most out of them. And yeah, they book meetings. That's the
And
whole thing.
outside of all your technology meanderings, what's your what do you do for fun, man?
Well, the World Series starts today, so excited for that. I know
The World Series starts today.
Made it. Game 1 today. Dodgers versus Blue Jays.
Dodgers and Blue Jays?
Yep.
Shoot, man, that just shows you. It's funny. Baseball used to be my thing, but I didn't even know that. All right, well, let's dive in, man. I want your take on this. I'm throwing just a couple slides up. Maybe we can talk through them, but it feels like chat has been. I mean, it's been around for ages, and in some ways it's worked. Some ways it has, and I want to get your thought as to maybe what it has and has not worked. But a couple stats for you. I won't hit every one of these, but these are actually not very good. 88% of consumers say chatbots made their problems worse, not better. That's only a year old. Drift, our friends at old Drift, we got a little stat in there. A lot of chatbot interactions not actually getting to a resolution. Oh, I did like this one. I guess maybe I'm going to read every one of these. 30% of traditional chatbots can only handle 30% of customer queries without that sounds about right. I'm curious as you see these, Michael. I mean, you've been around the space, you've played with chatbots for a long time, or some version of chat.
Yeah.
High level, do these resonate with you? If so, why?
Yeah, I think when people go on a site and click a chat and have an experience, that sort of counts as that touch, like a meaningful engagement. And so if they don't get a useful experience out of that, then that engagement can kind of die, like that lead can get cold, right? So I mean, we've gone from a traditional chat to an AI one, and the main difference is with a traditional chat, in order to make it helpful, in order to make it useful, you have to build tons and tons of branches and
if branching, right?
Think of every possible solution, and if you don't, then you have to have a team member come on. And with the AI, you can kind of just say, hey, like, here's your goal, and outside of that, try to do your best, and it does. So I think that's where we see the difference really between the two.
I like that. You're jumping as always to the good stuff. But the first part is I wanted to dive into a little bit, and we'll go back and forth. But yeah, it's the branching, right? Because that's what the old. I mean, look, they could handle some of the stuff, but ultimately there was so much that had to be programmed into them that when that programming broke, it ultimately kind of didn't deliver the outcome that people want. So Michael kind of alluded to it, but that's what we wanted to dive into today. What if your chatbot wasn't a chatbot? What if it was some sort of digital work? What if it was an AI employee? And then what would that look like? What would the difference be? So we've recently taken to market our cloud employee. We call her Jordan. She's a rock star. Jordan's a rock star. She's our web chat SDR, and we're going to be kind of demonstrating today some of the things that she can handle. But I did want to just back up and make sure you get some of those points, because there has been kind of an evolution of chat over the last few years, and Michael alluded to it, these kind of button bots. And you've seen these. In fact, I thought maybe and I don't want to call out different companies, but I thought I saw one here maybe. So these kind of button things, right? So it's like it's more bot formation here, right? I want to schedule. I'm going to click a button. That's why I've always called them button bots. But welcome to outreach. It schedules. It's pre-programmed here, right, Michael? These are all going to be pre-programmed. I press a button and then it automatically does that branching you were talking about, right?
As soon as one thing changes, you have to change everything.
Yeah, that's right. Do these guys have a seat minimum? No, I need less than 7 seats. Oh, tell me you don't have a seat minimum. Sorry, this is like a Oh, I did not know that. Oh, that's a LinkedIn post. I hate seat minimum. Doesn't matter. I digress. The concept here, though, is we've all seen these, right? So these are the branching that Michael's kind of talking about. If this, then that. Anything else you'd highlight as you kind of see a bot like this, Michael, that people just to remind them when we say button bots, kind of the thing we're hitting on?
Yeah, I think the key things are really like if you want to change something, that one change leads to 15 other changes, and making sure everything still makes sense. I'm sure, as you know, Gabe, if you loop somebody in, you finally get someone that wants to talk to a human, and the human's not there, then all of a sudden that lead dries up, and the sort of chats just kind of stops.
It just stop. It just look on this one. You can't even.
Yeah, you can't even keep going.
They just nuked me right here. That's bonkers. Oh,
Well,
you can take a self-guided tour, but
and
yeah,
what if you click on the wrong button, Gabe? Like, what if you're like, oh, never mind, I actually do have enough seats. Then
oh, I'm stuck. I'm stuck with the button bot. Let's see. Can I? Let's see if they tag me here. Oh, they did. Yeah. Oof. I'm never gonna be able to buy from these guys again.
you're gonna be able to buy outreach. You've been talking about it so much.
I'm absolutely toast. That's funny. Anyway, so yeah, that's when we say button bot, that's kind of what we're referring to. And again, I'm assuming most of you know that. And I put a little joke here, but it is click a button, wait for the script, click another button, and then actually just what I was doing, the rage quit. It's kind of like, oh my goodness. But look, for certain instances, I think in 1985 to like 1987, this was helpful. That was supposed to be sarcastic. I don't know. The last
But the problem is that people think it's still helpful, right? Like
now, look, there is. Oh, we already kind of showed an example there. Now, it does seem like there was another iteration. I don't know if you agree with this 100%, Michael, but it does. Like there was a little move to something that was maybe a little bit more intelligence before you actually, I think, went to kind of like a true AI employee. It felt like some of these had like I'm thinking of an example. I don't think I want to show
I
it.
like to call it like an FAQ bot.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly right. So what it did was that's exactly where I was going. It only scraped kind of your website, or truthfully, a lot of them only did the knowledge base. And so it was only there, but it did have some intelligence. But man, once it went outside of that core knowledge base, such as your, Q&A, then it kind of broke. But it felt like that was the initial iteration on like an AI bot. Did I lie on that? I could have lied.
I think it's right, and I mean I've built a few. They can be a pain, and I've also helped others, convert from a FAQ bot, and when they find out that they don't have to have a CSV of 400 different questions that they need to pre-program in, they almost they sing and dance about it.
Yes. So okay. So yeah, there's probably a couple examples here, but I don't want to show them because I doubt anybody's actually tuning into this webinar, but if they did, I think they'd feel bad. So there are examples of FAQ bots, but I think Michael's explained that pretty well. Pretty basic questions. I love the idea. You typically load something in, or maybe it is just using one data source. And it was an interesting iteration, but I don't think it really helped that much. So yeah, I'm not going to show it. So yeah, what we're kind of highlighting then today is something that would be that next iteration, right? We call them cloud employees. These would be advanced agents. Michael's going to demo it a little bit more, but some of the things that we highlight here with Jordan, more full conversations. That's one of the things I love with these is, you can definitely go outside those spreadsheet of questions. So, what do you, I had a random question about your company, or I want to know more about your founder or something like that. That's actually one of the questions I saw on AI bots that broke it a lot, was just asking like, hey, can you tell me about your company or your founder? And it didn't have that pre-programmed in that knowledge base, so it kind of broke. So the broadness is pretty cool. I love that it has a little bit of personality, but man, some of the stuff being able to, certainly I love the idea of pulling people in or escalating to humans. But being able to kind of book meetings or pull in different objects into chat, or different pieces of information into chat that isn't just in this knowledge base. Maybe it's in that knowledge base. All of a sudden, the breadth of information becomes pretty powerful. Michael, at a high level, and we're going to dive into this in a second, but how would you kind of then say, what are some of those cool things that separate some of these bots versus this cloud employee?
Yeah, I think some key differences are it knows when it makes sense to actually do a call to action or drop a calendar or try to route somebody through,
Mm.
right? Like with your old button bots, the calendar dropped when it was time for it to drop, and what if they didn't answer the right question or you didn't want it to drop? They're disqualified, or just kind of happened. The other one is kind of like you said, like actually the number one testing question I'd say I get is when we give somebody a new AI to play with, they're like, okay, who's the CEO? Who's the CMO? They start quizzing it because it's something they know. And so it's able to, you just give it the website and it's able to understand, these real things about your company without having to pre-program them in, log them all in, and kind of get into the weeds of it. You can just at a high level make it work.
I love it. I love it. So here's some of the kind of the flow, and then Michael will demonstrate this, but multiple functionalities that some of these cloud employees can do. So definitely you can go deeper down the qualification. So if you are looking for some sort of sales capability, I love that it can take away some of those forms and actually ask some of those questions. Maybe you saw that on the outreach, like we can get that in a conversation. It doesn't have to be a button bot. Love the routing capability. We talk about booking, but routing, I mean, the stuff that you can do, and Michael, this might be one thing to show is, different keywords that pop up, then we utilize some of those different keywords to push or pull into different people in the organization. That's pretty good. The routing stuff was pretty mind-boggling to me. Everything's pulling back into your CRM, or we bring that in. I think maybe that's table stakes, but being able to make sure that this isn't just a third-party entity, but it is coming back down. The ever learning and improving, I think, can be pretty powerful. But I have found this to be interesting. How can you take something in chat? And again, if something comes in, can you bring in another channel, like drop an email to that person, or schedule that meeting and get that confirmation via email? Now you're moving from chat into a different channel. Again, that just makes it feel so much more like an employee versus that old weird word bot. I wonder where we got the word bot.
I think it's short for robot, Gabe.
Bot. Chat robot?
I think so.
I don't love I never loved it. I should have probably come in ready for that one. But all right, let's dive in. I'm gonna see, Michael, I can give you
Let me see if I can share my screen here.
Let's see. Oh man, we should have practiced that. I don't even know if you can do that. Hopefully you can, because I'd love him to just kind of walk through and see how this works.
Yeah. So first I'll show Jordan. Gabe, can you see that real quick? Let me confirm.
Let's see. I probably have to add it to the stage. There we go. Yeah, got it.
Awesome. So here's Jordan. Here's our new employee. Now I'll just do a quick high level overview of this. Really, everything is natural language, written word. There's no different routing. There's no long chains of if thens. It's just we give her an identity. We say you're Jordan, our employee chat made by Signals. We give her a style guide. We say here's what you should say. Here's what you shouldn't say. Be concise. Never be too verbose. We open up with
that is something I hate, Michael. The just on the concise thing. Well, two things on that. Sometimes I think that it spits out answers, right, that are like that. You're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
But it also spits them out. I love some of these tools that allow you to kind of, I get it, but it doesn't just bleh, right? It kind of like writes it more, or kind of puts it out like it. That just feels a little more real to me.
Yeah, it's sort of that, like you can see it coming as you're not just, there's not the 3 dots and then all of a sudden you have 4 paragraphs to read.
4 paragraphs. I've seen a couple of those. I'm like, you seriously sent me 4 paragraphs?
It's like, I'm not going to read that. I'm going to read the last 2 sentences, see if it makes sense, and go from there.
That's right.
Yeah, and then we tell her what we want her to say, right? So how do we want the conversation to go? What questions we need to ask, and so we can see that in action here with Jordan live in the world speaking to Rachel. So Rachel came on to the site and asked Anna, I think we had her as Anna then. Gabe did a bit of a rebrand here with Jordan, but asked Anna at the time, what does your organization do? And Anna gave a quick summary. Had a great conversation, was looking for specific use cases. And then when, I'm just going to kind of scroll through these, but when Rachel was ready, Jordan dropped Steve's calendar, who's a great sales rep here at Signals, and he's actually in charge of all our partners. Great guy. You should definitely meet with Steve. and yeah, dropped the email, gave him the calendar, and then Rachel actually complimented Anna, or Jordan now, for the work. And the beautiful thing is, Gabe, if I wanted to change any of this behavior, if I just wanted to say, hey, don't say X or don't say Y, all I got to do here is say, don't bring up Gabe. And then now Jordan's never going to talk about you, Gabe. She's just going to leave you out of it.
Wait, did she bring me up? You're saying no. You're just saying you don't want her to.
I just don't want her to bring up Gabe anymore.
I think she probably should bring up Gabe, but you're saying in the case that she did, yeah, I see where you're going.
So that's all I got to do to correct behavior, right? I don't have to go through, change a bunch of strings, change a bunch of lines. It just shows up there. And then next time Jordan's having a conversation, I mean,
it's cool. No, look, this is such a great example.
And here's the challenge: if anyone is watching this webinar, they should go talk to Jordan, see if she'll talk about Gabe. Well, that's it. That could be fun.
Because right now, like, she won't ever talk about Gabe again.
Correct. Yeah.
We need to make sure we take that off, man, because I want people. No, can you undo her training on that?
I'll undo it. Yeah. All we got to do.
Okay, a couple things on that. One is, dude, delete that. Hey, you're not done yet, man. You're not done. Show that for another second. So yeah, look, a couple things. One is the conversation that you were flashing, right? I mean, that is pretty. If you read through that, it's pretty natural language there, right? Now, we still are saying that this is a cloud employee. So and you don't advocate ever, Michael, to try to quote unquote trick people, but we're trying to make it as real as possible within the realm of, in the past, again, button bot versus, so programmatic language to something that feels a little more real, but you still identify it as an agent or a cloud employee, something that's digital, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. But the language itself feels pretty good. And when it actually, I don't know if you can you flip to Jordan on the homepage of Signals and flash it from that view?
Pulling it up right now.
See if you can get the calendar up on this view to kind of see how that comes back and forth. That's pretty, I think that dialogue and that dynamic is also pretty neat to see. That ability, I think it's pretty just cool to actually bring it in and see the calendar real time of how someone might actually schedule that. And so it looks like you could put it in faster. In this case, it's, why don't you get me something on the email? But that's back to the qualification questions. And then looks like she'll spit out that calendar as such. Yeah, see, that's cool. That's a cool design there. And you kind of move through. Although I don't like Steve's picture there. He's not very handsome, but whatever, we'll go with it. Okay, cool. So what else would you highlight? One of the things people talk about is the recognition of being able to see somebody, and you kind of showed that a little bit in the back end, like it knew to whoever that person that Jordan was talking to, Rachel.
Yeah, so
talk about that intent or understanding kind of how that works then with the chat.
Yeah, so we were able to see that Rachel was part of OneStream software. So if Jordan wants to bring that up, if you want Jordan to mention it, she can. If Rachel came from an email, and we have some UTMs on there, we can even greet Rachel by name. Or if she came in before, we can greet Rachel by name and say, ask how she's doing. After the conversation, though, we also pull information out, right? So we got the email from the conversation. We did an enrichment on Rachel, see who she is, what she's doing. We found her LinkedIn here. And then we also see some information about who OneStream software is to us, right? It looks like we haven't had a ton of engagement here. We don't have an opportunity, but they booked with Steve. So Steve's the owner now, and we get some information about OneStream software. So if Steve comes on, questions about, what OneStream software does, what we want to do, you can just find that there. And we have this coaching section here, and we can also then go through and see everything that Rachel has done before. So looks like she came.
So you're really getting some more and different information on there. Can you go back to I appreciate you kind of highlighting that. Go back to the homepage again and see if you can break out of the basics. Like ask Jordan, what do cloud employees do on the weekend?
Sure. Let me refresh right now. So one thing I did want to highlight, just from before, if if I do get stuck, we have a nice little retry button or redo button. You can always just restart the conversation, start over again. Never gets.
Oh, because yeah, I was getting stuck on that button bot. I couldn't figure out how to have another conversation. Like I accidentally said I was below 7 seats, but I wanted it to be
Yeah.
bigger. And I was like, I probably have to go in like incognito mode or something.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so much work, right?
Yeah. Mother Maya. Yeah. Let's see what she says. What do you do on the weekend? I was just trying to think of a dumb question to see if I could maybe stop. Maybe you should have asked her a math problem or something, but I was trying to think of something that ultimately, maybe would be outside of that
Yeah.
realm of knowledge base. Oh, am I stumping her here?
Looks like she's really trying to. It might be working against her natural inclination. Trying to figure out what to do.
Well, you never. I mean, demos are the best. You never know when you're going to stump them. Let's see what she can come up with. But typically, the idea is that the broadness there, yeah, you can kind of bounce around and should be just fine. Correct?
Yeah, yeah. In the pre-recorded demo we scrapped or something. I don't know. Not sure. She, she said that she likes to spend time with signals on the weekend. So, just so happens that this one stumped her a bit.
Hey, look, sometimes these live demos, you just got to take what comes. Seems like I was watching something. Was it OpenAI or Facebook or something?
We can ask for a math here. 1 + 1 equals.
Oh. Yeah, this is. You'd be surprised how much time I spend asking cloud employees stupid questions. Math is fun, but I'm here to help us. Yeah, but that good idea. Again, the broadness here, you can really go, and again, you can have a little bit of fun with it, but she should bring it back ultimately to the purpose that she's been defined to do, which is, answer questions and schedule meetings. So cool. Michael, appreciate what else? Is there anything else I didn't ask? There you go. If I had weekends, I'd probably binge data and dream up new workflows. See, got a little personality in there, Jordan. I like it. There you go. Cool, man. Yeah. What, anything else you'd mention or I didn't ask about that kind of would help separate some of the deep advantages a cloud employee would have over these button bots?
Yeah, I think training's easy. As soon as you tell it some new information or tell it to do something, it remembers and it works off of it. And training's as simple as giving it a website or giving it a PDF, and it can work from there. And it never runs into these dead ends, right? It never. I mean. Except for when it freezes up on weekend questions, it never runs into dead ends. It always has an answer, always tries to move them back into the right situation, and can really help move conversations along.
Yeah, I think I was starting to think maybe the what do you do on weekends she just thought was inappropriate, so she just wasn't answering. But yeah. Awesome. So Michael, appreciate you joining. Hope everyone kind of got a better understanding, some of this evolution of chat as we've kind of experienced that over the last 10 years from that kind of button bot to something that's a little more of an FAQ AI, but ultimately as you move into this new age, more cloud employee, really broaden some of the capabilities, et cetera, et cetera. If you want to test this out, always feel free to hit me up LinkedIn. You can dive into this. I've got a link here in LinkedIn, but hope you guys have a fantastic day. And again, Michael, thanks for joining. See you later, everybody.